always where we left off. There's no connection in any bank records, in any recollection, in any testimony between President Biden and his son Hunter's business dealings that, like many people, Hunter spoke with his father every day and would often occasionally put his father on to say hello to whomever he happened to be caught at dinner with. And Mr. Archer clarified that was sometimes people that they were they were trying to do business with, and it was sometimes friends or other social engagements. Happy to take a couple questions.
Congressman Goldman, yes. So there are Republican allegations that the Bidens received money through shell companies. Did Archer talk about those? Did he verify those allegations?
There is no evidence that anyone other than Hunter Biden received any money in connection with the business transactions with Devon Archer.
So to confirm, you're saying that the speakerphone conversations, they don't seem concerning to you because there was no specifics about business, and it just seemed like
it was clear that it was part of the daily conversations that Hunter Biden had with his father, and it was and sounded like most of the time now President Biden didn't even know who the people he was at dinner. He was just asked to say hello. And he would, talk about the way he described it several times. They asked over and over and over. He described what the weather was, what's going on your end. The witness was very, very consistent that none of those conversations ever had to do with any business dealings or transactions. They were purely what he called casual conversations.
Doesn't that contradict the president's statement saying that he never talked to any of Hunter Biden's business associates? Clearly he talked, whether it's about the weather or whatever, but he said specifically that he's never talked to them. Doesn't this contradict them?
I don't know what his comment is, and if we're gonna, well, I don't think that's what he said. He never said that he has never spoken to anyone. He said that he had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings. If he says hello to someone that he sees his son with, is he supposed to say, "Hi, son"? Oh, no, I'm not going to say hello to the other people at the table or the other people on the phone. It's kind of a preposterous premise to think that a father should not say hello to people that the son is at dinner with, and that is literally all the evidence is.
Was this like a party trick that Hunter Biden used to impress the people he was with, whether they were friends or business associates?
No, the witness, Mr. Archer, was very clear that Hunter spoke to his father every day. And he indicated that he approximated about 20 times over the course of his 10-year business relationship that he had with Mr. Biden, with Hunter Biden, which would be about twice a year, that Hunter would put his father on speakerphone with whomever was at dinner, and there was no indication that he had any idea who was at dinner with them. It was just a say hello, I'm at dinner here, and there was nothing related to his business dealings.
Why was he doing that? Was it just to say, look, I can get my dad on the phone, check it out?
I don't know. He picked up the phone at dinner when his dad called him, and he was at dinner.
Who were some of those? So there's no conflicts of interest?
Was Lotrovsky one of those?
There's no conflicts of interest with President Biden when he was vice president and now, as it pertains to Archer's testimony about Hunter?
There is not a shred of evidence of a single conflict of interest of President Biden ever doing anything in connection or in relation to Hunter Biden's business ventures other than advocating for the removal of a prosecutor general who was advantageous to Burisma. The only evidence we have right now of any official action by President Biden in connection to Hunter Biden's business interests is bad for Hunter Biden's business interests.
How is that not a conflict of interest?
Can you explain more on Burisma?
How is that not a conflict of interest? Because it had nothing to do with. It had nothing to do. What?
Why was it not a
It had nothing. It was not done in furtherance of that. It was done because President Biden it has a tremendous amount of integrity and respect. And if you ask any of the State Department witnesses who have dealt with President Biden, then President Biden, in Ukraine and elsewhere, they will all say, every single one of the first impeachment witnesses will all say that Vice President Biden was a man of the highest integrity who only advocated on behalf of the United States. Let's not let the Republican projection, because Donald Trump has used his perch and his power purely for his own personal gain, make everybody think that that's normal. That's not normal. And unless there's any evidence, and we have seen none, and we have heard a lot of accusations and we have seen no evidence, somehow connecting President Biden to anything that his private citizen son is doing, then we need to move on, and this investigation is a complete waste of time.
We've got to go. I'm sorry.
Thank you, guys.